What's up guys, Yato here. In today's video I'm going to be talking about some spy and assassin manga. Is it just me or does Japan seem to suddenly be more in love with these underworld stories with assassins and spies and things like that? I know there were, manga in the past like Hitman Reborn and Assassination Classroom, but I won't be talking about a lot of those since there's, a lot more new ones popping up these days, and maybe it's because of the success of Spy Family, I don't know. But if you're a fan of Spy Family, or even if you aren't, then I put together a list of some of the newer spy and assassin manga that I found and read over the last year or two that I think you should check out. So give it a look. And if you enjoy this video, please hit the like to support me and subscribe for more content like this. I'll be dropping a lot more videos in the near future, so be on the lookout. Thanks. Oh, and I forgot to mention there'll be timestamps below to help you navigate through the sections just in case you've already read something and wanted to skip it. To start off the list, I'll go with something many Shonen Jump readers are already familiar with, and if not, then hey, maybe you'll want to read it after this. Sakamoto Days is about Taro Sakamoto, a former assassin who actually reminds me a lot of myself. He used to be this super legendary assassin until he met a woman and fell in love. After that, he quit his life as an assassin, married the woman that he fell in love with, got chubby, opened up a convenience store, and, his wife made him swear to never kill again, or she would end things with him and never look back. Sounds a lot like my life, except I don't own a convenience store, unfortunately. Sakamoto Days opens with a bit telling about how he fell in love with his wife and quit being an assassin, and that's followed up by one of his old colleagues finding his shop and coming in to ask Sakamoto to come back to work at the World of Assassination. This colleague is Shin, a clairvoyant, someone able to read minds, and while he speaks to Sakamoto, Sakamoto doesn't actually verbally respond, but just says everything to him in his mind, and you get to see how the conversations play out, through Shin reading Sakamoto's mind and seeing Sakamoto do things like stab Shin in the neck when he sits on his countertop or tries to light a cigarette while pointing to the no smoking sign. Sakamoto doesn't seem too interested in returning to the life of assassination, and they head outside, and Shin sees that people in this community are asking Mr. Sakamoto for help with things like clipping branches or getting a cat out of a tree, and Shin gets upset seeing his talent being wasted by being the neighborhood's jack of all trades. He leaves Sakamoto's shop and gets a call from his boss asking if he managed to convince Sakamoto to come back. When he says no, the guy asks, okay, so then Sakamoto's dead, right? Sakamoto broke the one rule leaving the organization and they want his head. Shin is sent back to finish the job and returns to the shop. He shoots at Sakamoto, but his bullet is deflected by a cough drop, followed by popsicles being thrown at him at very high speeds. Sakamoto disappears and Shin can't read his thoughts anymore. We see Sakamoto readying up a rubber band and a bag of cough drops to fire at Shin, who manages to dodge them only to get smacked in the head with a cream puff. After briefly losing his footing, Sakamoto sneaks up on him and knocks him out. When Shin wakes up, he's been bandaged and treated to a nice meal by the Sakamoto family, and he realizes that protecting this peaceful life is why Sakamoto left the assassination business. Shin leaves and, Sakamoto says, you're welcome to come back anytime, and so Shin goes back to his base, and now he's failed twice to bring Sakamoto in dead or alive, and so these hitmen decide it's time to take out Shin. Of course, since he can read their minds, he already saw it coming, and so he's ready to fight. Sakamoto is seen listening to the commotion somehow, and heads into his armory to grab some weapons and then head over to where Shin is. He arrives and beat these guys down while disarming them, taking their guns apart while throwing punches and kicks and blasting people with stun guns. Shin is saved, and Sakamoto reveals that he bugged Shin's gun with the listening device so he could track what happened when he left the shop. After that, Sakamoto offers Shin a job, tossing him a apron with his name tag already on it, and that just about covers chapter 1. You should definitely check out this manga if you haven't already. I'd argue it has some of the best fight scenes currently in Weekly Shonen Jump next to Jujutsu Kaisen, and many other people would agree. Let me know if you're reading this one. Alright, so next on the list is Hanako no Bodyguard, which probably just translates to Hanako Akabane's Bodyguard. It's a series featured in Weekly Shonen Magazine. It doesn't currently have an official release, so to read it you'll have to rely on fan scans. The series itself is about a girl named Hanako that attends a pretty prestigious high school and this guy named Ibuki that she's been friends with since childhood. Hanako is class president at school and the daughter of a lawyer. She wants to live a regular life, but this guy, Ibuki, is always following her around, causing trouble. Not exactly trouble for her, but just in the area, and he's kind of painted by everyone as if he's stalking her or trying to create trouble for her, and, he's always just causing a disruption. The truth is that her life is being targeted, and very often, some shady-looking fellows will come by and try and assassinate her. Ibuki was assigned as her bodyguard and was told to keep her safe, but not to let her know what's going on at all costs. To everyone else, it's pretty obvious that he likes her, but no one knows what's really going on. I mean, yeah, he likes her, but he wants to look cool in front of her and things like that, but he does really take the job seriously. In the first chapter, a man tries to sneak up and stab her from behind while she's walking to school, and Ibuki stops the guy and pins him down. When Hanako realizes, she only sees Ibuki beating up some old guy, so she stops him and asks if the old guy is okay. The man answers yes and then tries to kill her again, but before his knife is, shown to Hanako, it's stopped behind his back by Ibuki and he's taken away. They have a chat for a moment before Hanako shows up again, interrupting them, and the assassin manages to escape. And then after that, Ibuki and Hanako just go back to school. Everyone in the class gives Ibuki scary looks. Like I said before, they all see him as this dangerous, delinquent guy, and the only person that really isn't afraid of him is Hanako herself. We get a short flashback to a week ago, the last week of spring break, where Ibuki gets home to find a bunch of gangsters in front of his crib. He's worried that maybe his dad owes somebody a lot of money, but nah, it's all good. Dad comes out and welcomes him, saying he used to be a Yakuza in the Jingu game, a secret obviously he kept from his son for, obvious reasons. Dad tells him that there's a guest here to see him, the boss of the Jingu game, Masahito Jingu. Ibuki thinks that he's in trouble for maybe beating up one of his gang members earlier in the week, but Jingu tells him that no, it's all good. He needs him to protect a certain someone, Hanako Akabane, his childhood friend at the same school, who is actually his own illegitimate child. When she was born, he put her up for adoption and she lives her life in peace, not knowing who her real family was. But her existence was revealed recently when he was deciding who would take his place as the next boss, since he plans on retiring as soon as she graduates. A lot of powerful people in the gang are threatened by her, thinking that she will be the next boss and are trying to take her out, so Jingu begs Ibuki to look after her to keep her safe. Ever since they were kids, Hanako had a strong sense of justice, wanting to become a lawyer and offering Ibuki a job with her when she made it big, but he already has plans of taking over his family's construction business, so he rejects that offer and offers to make her office. Ibuki agrees to be her bodyguard, and a little flashback ends. Back at school, he notices the assassin from this morning when he looks out the window, and he rushes outside to intercept this guy, see what the hell is going on, but he's caught off guard and taken back to an abandoned warehouse. Ibuki underestimated the guy and finds out that he's part of a big team that's looking to take out Hanako. And Ibuki actually isn't, worried about this because he's kind of a badass and he gives these guys the hand. So after a little bit of a fight, this assassin dude pulls out a gun. Ibuki has his back against the wall, or so it looks that way. He also brought reinforcements. All of the kids in his class with Hanako are also trained assassins who are given the same job as Ibuki to protect Hanako. They quickly defeat these assassins and we see a little more of the flashback. Jingu tells him that he has a team of 22 other kids to blend into the class and protect Hanako while making sure the secret isn't revealed, and he asks, why the hell am I needed then if you got these other 22 guys? Ibuki, being someone that was friends with Hanako since they were children, gives him this special bond with her that allows Jingu to trust him more than the other kids, since they're all actually just gang members that he, had filling the roles of students. And he gives him the special job of watching the other kids because someone sold out Hanako and revealed her secrets to other assassins. So that's Hanako Akabane's bodyguard. I wondered for a while if I should include this manga in the list since it's a bodyguard series, but there's assassins at every turn, so I think it fits. There's only like 3 or 4 chapters that have been translated so far, but I think there's maybe like 20 or so in Japanese. Hopefully the translation picks up on them soon. Check this series out and let me know what you think below. Next up is Kindergarten Wars, a story about guns, grenades, and recess. When the world's most dangerous assassins manage to get captured, a few of them are lucky enough to be given a chance to shorten their sentence by working at a kindergarten that all the rich and powerful people send their kids to. The main character is a young woman named Rita. She likes horoscopes, doesn't seem to hate her job as a kindergarten teacher, and is really hoping she'll find the man of her dreams soon. During the first chapter, a sniper assassin is sent to take out one of the children of an Amazon executive. He's warned by his boss that this kid is attending school at the world's most secure kindergarten, and he brushes it off since, he's a pro and all that. When he gets in position and tries to take out the kid, his shot is deflected and he's caught while attempting to relocate. Rita catches him and thinks he's very attractive. She remembers today's horoscope was, today we'll have a fateful encounter. She gets super excited thinking this could be her future boyfriend delivered to her from the universe. She runs some quick speed dating questions by him, asking things like what he likes in his stew and how he likes his chicken, and she loves everything from his answers to his hair to the way his voice sounds. Everything is going great until she asks the final question, what kind of movies do you like? To which he responds, I don't watch movies. And like that, the speed date is over. She blows his brains out and gets back to work. It's after this that we find out that Rita is a former legendary assassin and she was offered freedom after protecting children at a preschool for a year, and so the story follows her and her co-workers who are also assassins trying to make it through the school days without any disasters. We meet a couple more of her preschool staff, and so far all of the characters are fun and have their own very different personalities and specialties for assassination. The most recent arc was about a demolitionist expert joining the staff, but her story was a bit different from someone like Rita's who used to be a legendary assassin. The story currently has less than 20 chapters out that are raw, and about 9 or 10 of them have been translated to English. It's a Jump Plus series that hasn't yet been added to the Manga Plus catalog, although I'd be very surprised if it wasn't showing up there very soon. I think you'll like this one a lot if you check it out, so go ahead. Next up is Tank Chair, a manga that's as ridiculous as its name is, and it's about a guy that's, well, a tank in a chair. Nagi and his sister Tyra are the main characters of this series, two assassins that used to work for a certain assassin agency but left because of some things that I'll leave for you to find out in, later chapters. But at some point after leaving the agency, Tyra is taken hostage and has to be saved by her brother Nagi. He's successful but doesn't realize that one guy is left alive when he gets to her, and this last guy tries to shoot Tyra, and Nagi has to defend her, but at that point he puts himself in the line of fire. Nagi gets a bullet in the head, and from that point on he's in a vegetative state and unable to walk or wake up from his coma. Nagi, who was once the most legendary assassin in town, is now bound to a wheelchair and kept at a rehab facility. One day, while Tyra was visiting her brother, she speaks to him saying, it's all her fault. She's sorry that he ended up this way, and the mosquito lands on his cheek, and she's talking about how pitiful it is to see her brother in this state where he can't even kill a mosquito. She goes to kill the mosquito, and a jolt of lightning fires off in her brother's brain. He senses the killing intent directed towards him when Tyra goes to kill the bug, and it wakes him up. "Where are we?" he asks. Now the story follows these two as they look for dangerous opponents for him to fight, hoping that he will sense killing intent that's intense enough to fully rehabilitate his body, allowing him to walk again. Tyra takes on jobs looking for the baddest, biggest guys in town, and then goes back to the hospital and wakes her brother up by charging towards him with a knife in hand. In the first chapter, they're given a job of taking out a gang of gorillas that have been robbing armored trucks. The leader of this gang is a massive ape named Ariyashima Goro that has been through so many genetics enhancements that his arm strength is greater than 10 gorillas put together, and he's able to rip through armored trucks with just his bare hands. Tyra takes on the job, and we later see Nagi arrive at the gorilla gang's hideout. They're counting money for their boss when one guy steps away to go get some smokes. He comes running back into the room screaming with one of his hands chopped off. Behind him, you hear the screech of wheelchair brakes, and you see a tiny little wheel, front wheel from the chair, peek around the corner. Then enters Nagi, strapped down to the chair, covered in armor from head to toe with a hockey mask on that's got like these bunny ear modifications to the front of him and long blades attached to his gloves. The monkeys all look at him in confusion until Tyra breaks the silence and taunts them, speaking to them from this little drone thing that's flying around her brother. She pisses them off and they all open fire. Sensing the killing intent, Nagi gets another hit of that adrenaline and goes on a killing spree, slashing through these guys like it's nothing. Bullets bounce off his armor while he spins around in a circle, doing a Link Up B from Smash Bros, giving this a nice little spin treatment, separating his body into, like 12 or so horizontal sections of meat, leaving behind just puddles of blood on the floor where he was. More of these monkey guys appear upstairs, and they begin firing down on him since he can't get up, in his wheelchair. But the chair is also equipped with spiked treads for his tires, allowing him to climb walls with his superhuman strength. This man has the arm strength to spin these damn wheelchair tires hard enough that he's able to climb completely vertical surfaces. More of these monkeys are slaughtered until the boss finally shows himself. Here's the guy they've been looking for. After trading blows for a second, we see that this guy is in fact a lot more durable than the other monkeys, and Arashiyama is impressed by Nagi's strength and says that he'll add him to his collection. Nagi doesn't like this because he doesn't feel like this guy is, being serious enough. He says that it's not a good enough killing intent and that this monkey just wants to play around. After a short tactical retreat, Nagi returns to the scene with an armored bulldozer he calls Tank Chair Mark 7. He charges Arashiyama, and he's shocked that a man is able to push him back using just the strength of his arms. From there, Tyra begins taunting him, saying things like, "Is that all you've got? Come on, you can do more if you try." While he's being pushed back, and it really pisses him off, he's serious now and shouts that he will slaughter them, and that's where he messed up. His new increased killing intent is just exactly what Nagi needs. He senses this and gets even stronger, thanking the gorilla for the medicine as he plows right over the monkey, leaving a bloody monkey paste where he stood. Afterward, the siblings head home, and Nagi tells his sister, "Good work," but not to worry about him anymore and that she should try to live a normal life. After that, he shuts down and reverts to his vegetative state, and then she pushes him home, saying, "I just want us to live a normal life, us siblings." So until the day that Nagi recovers, my search for kill targets continues. The series is a ton of fun if you're into the super bloody action-packed fights and dark, dirty, gritty-looking worlds like Dorohedoro, then you'll like this. Like many on this list, there's only a few other chapters that have been translated, with a few more in the chamber that we're just waiting on. But if you're like me, you'll be a fan after the first one, so check it out and let me know what you think. Marriage Toxin is another assassin manga that I have talked about before on the channel. It's a series that I closely compare to Sakamoto Days for the way, it's stylized and things like that. It's a story about a man named Hikaru Gero from the Poison Clan, In this world, most assassins specialize in things like using water or insects, spears, or poison to do their assassinations, and with that comes different clans, with branch families that support the head family, and the main character is from one of the 5 top mainline families. He takes his work very seriously and always takes down the target until one day he's hired to kill a marriage swindler named Mei Kinosaki. Kinosaki appears to be an attractive woman who at first attempts to pull on Gero's heartstrings, but it doesn't work as he tells her he's already given her a time poison that'll slowly kill her over the next hour. During this time, Gero gets a phone call from his sister who has bad news. Their grandma has grown impatient after trying to arrange a marriage for Gero to keep the poison clan going. She's given up on him and has decided to move forward by forcing his sister to marry. This sucks for a lot of different reasons, obviously, but the main one that's talked about is that his sister is already in a relationship with another woman. Gero, being the great brother that he is, gets the bright idea and tells his sister not to worry about it because he will carry on the family name himself. He goes back to this marriage swindler that he poisoned a few minutes ago and asked him to marry him, but he's completely rejected and made fun of. Some time goes on and they, talk about a few things and share some heartfelt words and stuff like that. They eventually settle on helping Gero meet and get to know girls in exchange for releasing them. From this point on, the story unfolds as Gero and Mei go on fun adventures looking to hook Gero up with his future wife. The story is incredibly wholesome, and I'm not really doing it enough justice by talking about it here. The choreography and surprisingly wholesome moments in this series are what I say makes it reminds me of Sakamoto days. This series has about 30 or 31 chapters and it's on Manga Plus, so go give that a read and definitely look forward to me putting out more content focused on marriage toxin in the future. So that brings us to the end of another video. If you sat through that, I really appreciate you, and I hope that I was able to convince you to check out some of these manga. Let me know below, and if you get a moment, don't forget to like the video to help it move through the algorithms so that it can reach more viewers, and subscribe to support the channel. Hope you guys are staying well, drinking water, and I'll catch you on the next one.